Shea Theodore is listed as week to week following surgery for an undisclosed upper body injury. We'll talk about how he will impact his loss, will impact the Golden Knights as VGK tonight skates at Vancouver in a key Pacific divisional matchup. And the winner of that game will be in sole possession of first place. Coming up ahead right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel that is Locked On Golden Knights. And we are brought to you today by the Gametime app. Make sure that you check out the Gametime app, create an account, and use the promo code Locked On NHL for $20 off of your first purchase. So, Chris, I just want to start off again. We have undisclosed upper lower body injuries. I'm at an undisclosed location today. Okay, a little bit in the dark. Sorry about that. And first of all, Silver Knights last night. Give us the rundown. And please stop sending me pictures of the stinking town crier. Come on, man. Be better than that. Be better.
So we had a nice night. I got a random email, didn't pull any strings for this. I got a random email saying my son had been selected to partake in the Anthem Buddy festivities, I guess, which simply means he gets the opportunity to skate out and be on the blue line with the team for the national anthem. It was a chilling moment watching him going out there. First of all, holding my breath. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. And little dude skated out there full speed, probably executed the best hockey stop of his young career, and he rocked it, started slapping the stick on the ice when they got to night in the anthem, trying to get the crowd going, and it was a good time. Definitely a shout out to the team. It was kind of cool. We got to start, in the back of house and all that. Chris and Allie and Amanda both were kind of enamored at watching everything. Got to watch the Silver Knights play their sewer ball beforehand. That was kind of cool watching all of that. And then Allie also got to ride on the Zamboni during the first intermission. So cool experience. Great time was had by all. Definite shout out to the Silver Knights for a wonderful night.
So that's awesome. And thanks for those photos. And you could find them at TD Chris G, of course, on Twitter. He's posted some great photos from last night. For the VGK, Shea Theodore, who missed all of 27 games a season ago, right? He is now out after that surgery yesterday for an undisclosed upper body injury. Chris, Theodore listed now as week to week. You've said this week that VGK is missing him, especially, I guess, on the rush. How will his loss impact this team if he is out long term?
So before we talk directly about his contributions last season, it was a lower body injury last season, so that was the difference. But a similar circumstance, I believe he was labeled week to week. His last game played was December the 9th, didn't return until January the 27th. So that's what week to week realistically looks like. I'm not saying it could be 2 weeks. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. But I think VGK fans should have a month to 45 days in their mind without Shea Theodore. As far as replacing him in the lineup and what the lineup looks like, you're not going to directly replace him. The Golden Knights do not have even close to a direct comparable. They have a lot of good defensemen, but each of the defensemen have their own skills and talents. Alec Martinez is a shot blocker. Pietrangelo chews up minutes and plays in every situation imaginable, et cetera, et cetera. Braden McNabb will knock you through the first row, through the glass. I mean, that's what they do. Shea Theodore, I think he was 18 points, 20 games, possible dark horse for the Norris, although today I looked at Quinn Hughes. He's got 31 or 33 points for the Canucks. More on that in the second segment, obviously. But you're not going to replace Shea Theodore's scoring. Ben Hutton is a left-handed stick, just like Shea Theodore. So Ben Hutton is the one who probably stands to get the most minutes out of this. But Ben Hutton just scored his first goal of the season in 17 games against the Oilers, and I think he has 2 or 3 assists on the year. So Ben Hutton's scoring level is nowhere near, obviously, what Shea Theodore does. So, a Pietrangelo, obviously, be nice to see him pick up on the scoring side. Zach Whitecloud, if he can get some shots going and stuff. McNabb, he's not a scorer, but maybe he can chip in a couple. You could possibly see it's a couple right-handed sticks, but Korczak and Pahal could be a kind of a more distant benefactor in this. Obviously, without Alec Martinez in the lineup, it seems like Korczak is going to get the minutes right now after a teenager stripped Pahal and got the puck to the front of the net against the Coyotes, to quote Coach Cassidy right now. So we'll see what Korczak can make out of this, because Korczak does have a little bit of a scoring touch. We're starting to see it. You're starting to see his puck rushing ability as well. Just will Korczak be able to draw into the lineup once Martinez is ready to return is the big question.
So the defensemen for VGK, they've been bitten with this injury bug early in the season. Did you see Rick Tocchet said, Theodore is out, right? We're catching a break for tonight.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah.
Your lighting just got a lot better. Wow, I can actually see you.
Let the sunshine in. Yeah.
The sun's moving. That's why.
Up since 4 a.m., man. I've been in the dark all morning, so this is good. But
you're comfortable.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, again, it's that impact of Theodore and how the team rallies around him and all those injuries with VGK. And they've done a more than adequate job of filling those voids with all the defensemen out. How many games did you say defensemen have missed, or you had?
I just actually pulled that stat up as you were talking right there. So of 23 games this season, the Golden Knights' top 6 defensemen have missed a combined 39 games.
Jeez.
That's a concern, but, when you look at a very important stat, you look at goals against as far as the league is concerned, the Golden Knights rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've given up the 6th least goals against in all of the NHL with just 57 goals given up. Oddly enough, that ties the Vancouver Canucks too. So you got a couple of decent defensive teams are going to be going at it tonight. So, I mean, what does that say? Well, I mean, we'll start with Korczak, Hutton, and Pahal being able to chip in and do a good job. And just imagine how much better things are going to get if it's not even win and if it's just if. Imagine how much better things will get if the top 6 defensemen can get some sustained games together. I think they've played 2 total games together this season.
2 to 3. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
There, right?
It's on one hand and it's not a full hand. So however you want to look at that right now.
Okay, it's not quite the excess lighting, in the restroom at Excess nightclub, but the lighting is getting a little bit better.
I hope you got lighting in a restroom. Jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever.
Okay. Coming up next, will VGK still be in first place when that final horn sounds tonight at Rogers Place? Surprising Canucks, a team now in second place and just a point behind the Golden Knights. We take a look at that matchup for tonight, I should say, coming up next right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Gametime is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. Gametime has deals on your tickets right up until the start of the event, and even an hour after the event starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. It's really a good app, and Chris and I both utilize it. Find exclusive flash deals, sponsored deals for tickets for the NHL, the Golden Knights, for football, for the Rebels, for basketball. We don't have basketball yet. For baseball, concerts, much, much more. Comedy, of course, which we provide each and every day. We should start charging for this. And then with zone deals, right, you can pick the section, and Gametime will pick all of the seats for you for an average savings of 18%. And the Gametime, the guarantee that they have means that you will always find the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app today, as you see on your screen, and make sure that you use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you doing so. And tomorrow, of course, is WTF, What the Stinking Friday. WTSF, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. And of course, Saturday mornings reserved for the Chris and Chris show. That's the YouTube exclusive. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you check that out. New lid. Is that a new lid or no?
No, this is that lid that, it's got the sweat stains on it, and it's just kind of a part of you, and you like to wear it, and it's got character. So there you go. But
I like
gotta give some support to the Silver Knights. Gotta give some support. Lost in the shootout last night. Got to see Jack Campbell. We got to see a $5 million AHL goalie last night. How about that, Tony?
Forgot about him. How's he doing?
I forgot about him because he's only high priced. More major league references, of course. I mean, he doesn't look that good. I mean, it's a weird spot right now for him. I mean, he's obviously on the outside looking in and trying to fight his way back up. And there's no way they're going to keep him in the AHL all season because they're not going to roll out with a Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. So they're going to bring him up. They're just working Pickard. I heard someone say Pickard the other day, so that's why I ran with it. I don't know.
No.
He wasn't long enough for me to care.
Right, exactly. And I'm just getting tired of everyone saying organization outside of the show. We should be the only Americans that are allowed to say that. Okay, so 23 games into this season, right, Chris? I know, random. 23 games into this season. VGK could be returning after the matchup tonight in Vancouver at Rogers Place in second place.
They already are technically. They are the Kings have a higher points percentage. So technically the Golden Knights if the season ended today, the Golden Knights are not in first place in the Pacific. Let's be clear about this, but keep going.
Of course. Well, and the Kings lost last night, but they do have still 3 games in hand. Yes. So I'm sure that it goes with their percentages. But in any event, they can either extend the lead tonight or come back in second place. Well, at least the way the standings are going right now.
No, they have the Golden Knights. If they don't win, even if the Golden Knights only get 1 point and the Canucks win, they'll have more wins in regulation. So the Golden Knights have to get 2 points, or by points, they will not be in first place after tonight.
And Rick Tocchet has his Canucks playing very well, especially at home, where, Chris, they are 8-1-1. Is that
pretty good?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Well, they're 6-3-3 on the road, so I mean, I'll chop those up as equal stats.
Okay. And one more stat for you. We're going to try to one up each other. I'm going to say third game, 4 nights. VGK in the past 1-2, 3 games and 4 nights. Okay. We're up to date on our stats.
The Vancouver Canucks have scored 91 goals in the NHL, top of the league this season. The next closest team has 80. How about that one?
All right, that's a good one too.
That's pretty crazy. What did get me looking? What did get me looking at the stats, I mean, the same thing I do for all of our shows. I take 30 seconds because that's all the time I have to prep these days. I take a few seconds, I go on ESPN, and I look at the total points for the stats for each player on the team. JT Miller, 35. Quinn Hughes, 33. Elias Pettersson, 30. Future Golden Knight. Brock Besser, 26. Philip Horneck, 23 points. So they have 5 players who are 23 points and higher. And then you still have some younger players contributing. You got Kuzi, as they call him, Kuzmenko, rookie, 20 games, 14 points. Mikheyev, 12. Even Tyler Myers, kind of a journeyman right now, I guess you could say. He's got 11 points. So, I mean, they're getting the depth scoring. They're getting the high-level scoring. And Thatcher Demko is just this goalie that's never going to go away, it seems like. He really carved a name for himself in the bubble playoff season when the Golden Knights faced the Canucks, and they could not find a way to solve him. And the Golden Knights have done okay against Thatcher Demko since then, but that's still the one thing that stands out. Demko, 210 goals against, 210 goals against, 928 save percentage, comes in 11-5. So very similar numbers to the Golden Knights netminders. And the last stat I'll pull up here, and then Tony can one up my stats here. I did mention 91 goals total for the Vancouver Canucks. For comparison, the Golden Knights have 74 goals, although 50 of those goals came out the first 12 games, and they've only scored in 11 games and 23 goals. So that's kind of a concern. Their scoring's been cut in half. Goals allowed, I believe the Canucks and the Golden Knights are actually tied in this category at 57. So the Canucks are plus 34 in goal differential to the Golden Knights 17. You're taking away Theodore, who's good on the defensive side too. We always talk about the offensive side of Theodore. It'd be good to have those shot blocks from Alec Martinez in a game like this too.
Do you think that his wife or slash fiance slash girlfriend stayed until the end, Theodore, till the end of the surgery?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, it's really bad form if you don't stay for the entire surgery. I definitely don't like when fans leave early for the surgeries. I've never understood why you pay for the whole thing. You should stay the whole time. They're going to charge you for it. I'm rambling because I wanted to get the betting line in on the game really fast. Golden Knights minus 105 to the Canucks minus 114. Public is evenly split. And last night I reposted Rick Tocchet is calling this a measuring stick game. Go figure. Saying the team's going to be ready and they're excited. And this is a circled game on the schedule. We heard this against Edmonton. And, Cassidy is eyeballing this stuff right now. And I know the Golden Knights, they're getting tired of the reporters asking. I mean, this guy in Edmonton asked that was his question to everybody. This is a measuring stick game. How do you handle blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, when the media keeps regurgitating that, I'm sure we're going to be asking that on Saturday as well. I don't think it's going to be me, but everyone's asking those questions. It's got to be wearing on the Golden Knights. And you kind of hope they take that and just start to get a little pissed off and, get to the point where they want to start, showing some dominance over the NHL right now.
We talked about the defensemen and the injuries for VGK, but you have Vancouver, which is also in a similar position. They have played 10 defensemen, Chris, and
Wow.
Carson Soucy, now the latest injury, and he'll be out for tonight's game. You talked about Brock Boeser offensively, 17 goals. 17 goals. Wasn't this the guy that wanted out of Vancouver last year? And I think
there was some stuff happening with Brock Boeser, definitely.
Did I call him Boeser?
You did. Everyone calls him Boeser. It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, I wasn't gonna outright just correct.
No. It's okay. It's Boeser Besser.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I guess just my general commentary about Vancouver. I've said this a lot. Up until this season, like for the last 2 years, Vancouver has been this team on the border of either being a rebuilding. Yeah, there you go.
No, Vancouver's on the border, almost close.
Fair enough. A little north of Seattle there. Stuck between rebuild and becoming, a playoff team that could potentially make a run. And as the GM of Vancouver, a decision, needs to be made. Do they blow this thing up? I mean, you got Quinn Hughes, you got Elias Pettersson, all these players. But then you had the situation where Bo Horvat winds up, getting traded and stuff last year. Right. So it seems like they found their identity, definitely. Is this sustainable? That's a fair question. Vancouver has not had much recent success. I mean, their claim to fame successfully is the bubble year against the Golden Knights. I don't think they've done a whole lot since then. They haven't even been flirting with the playoff team, I don't think. So we'll see if this is the year they get things together. And they're a dangerous, lethal team that can score and that has good defense and goaltending right now. And that's what matters to me when I'm, handicapping. There's 3 things that matter to me, right? I mean, we said it in the last year, talk about the Edmonton series. I'll start with goaltending and coaching. That's the first 2 things I'll look at. And then defense is the third thing I'll look at if I'm comparing which team is better, either in a single game format or, more importantly, a 7-game playoff series format.
So the Canucks earlier this week made a trade. They got rid of Anthony Beauvillier, and they sent him to Chicago on Tuesday in return for a 5th-round draft pick. They seem to be managing the books very well. They're not cooking them right now, that's for sure. They cleared over $4 million, to your point, Chris, in cap space, this week. So it's going to be a team at deadline time, if they're still hanging around, that they're going to make some moves. And Beauvillier was in that, I believe, right? Wasn't he in that aforementioned Bo Horvat trade? I think so.
Yeah, I know that's a good call. I remember that because I pulled Bouvier cards. I hope I'm saying his name right. Out of products of cards. Whatever. WNBC. Howard Stern, great movie, guys.
I know.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Well, I used to listen to that all the time. 66
Oh, really?
WNBC. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Quick story.
Go ahead. Fire away.
Okay. Summer job in New Jersey. I took a radio gig rather than interning for Howard Stern.
Okay.
I wanted the money, and they weren't going to pay me as an intern, and I'd have to travel to New York City every day.
Long term, was that the best decision for your career?
Absolutely not. I've made all the wrong moves. Come on, man. Look, I'm here. I'm almost in the freaking park.
That's pretty funny. Can't even afford lighting. No, the one thing I was about to say is, did Chicago make that trade to get to the league minimum because of the Corey Perry situation? I don't know.
I'm sure.
I mean, is that required? Like once the season's starting and you have a strange, I don't know. And then that whole thing is just crazy, but that's all we can need to say about it.
But what Beauvillier, right? You clear the space, but they also have some young players that I guess have exceeded expectations. Like Phil Di Giuseppe, have to do that, of course. Nils Hoglander, Connor Garland, all those guys.
These are all these draft picks they've been stockpiling.
I know they've been stockpiling them, right? That's what we're getting at. And these are guys that made a player like Beauvillier expendable. So they're all starting to play well, and they're all doing well at the right time.
Speaking of expendable, Teddy Bluger's only played 9 games.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me. Oh, okay.
No, but Christopher, I sent you a text. We were in the green room, I guess you can call it, waiting to get out to the ice and all that. Town Crier comes walking in, and Chris introduced himself as the co-host of Locked On Golden Knights. I thought that was priceless.
He is.
That was priceless.
Is the co-host. I've been replaced.
No.
So
he's the co-host.
Also, too, so did Casey DeSmith wind up there as the backup goalie? Remember, wasn't Casey DeSmith, wasn't he traded from Pittsburgh, had a cup of coffee in Montreal, and then I thought he went to Vancouver? No?
I don't know what it is. I mean, I'll tell you in 10 seconds here because
okay. I'm sorry. I'm just
our fans are dying to know now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Casey.
But in any event, Rick Tocchet saying that these are the games that we should be excited about. And he also called this game for tonight. Thanks for posting that soundbite from yesterday. He called it a will game. A will game. He said you have to go to the net against VGK again and again.
Well, we saw against Edmonton, the Golden Knights don't clear anyone from the net, at least that game. And I mean, part of that is structure on the power play. You let the goalie fend for himself, and you watch those shots from the side. And maybe this is something that Aiden Hill is a little better than Logan Thompson. And Aiden Hill has proven he's not going to take any you-know-what in front of him. We saw that against Edmonton last year. We saw that against every team he's played, including the Florida Panthers. And the only reason, no disrespect to Logan, but the only reason Logan played against Edmonton is because they wanted to make sure Aiden got 2 starts on the Canadian trip, including tonight's game, which is more important than the Edmonton game. Casey DeSmith, according to Hockey DB, only Pittsburgh and Vancouver. If he had a cup of coffee in Montreal, it was technically
remember they sent him
season, and
they did. They sent him to Montreal because I recall them sending them there, and they said, but he won't be staying there. Like, it was really random.
They knew beforehand. It was like Jonathan Quick in Columbus.
Oh no, he's Columbus great. Coming up next. Hey, can we get to our locks of the night our predictions?
Sure, let's do it.
Is the co-host of Locked On Golden Knights going to be
yell? I'm going to mute the mic and yell out while you're doing the ad in a second.
Okay. Coming up next, we'll have our locks of the night and predictions, as we said. Stay tuned right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also something that keeps your ride or die alive. So eBay Motors has everything that you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers to roof racks to exhaust kits LED headlights, and much, much more. Whether you are into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your ride or die, you're number one. You will always find exactly what you are looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you are burning rubber and not cash. With all the parts that you need at the prices that you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and to bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick, and Chris Golick Jr., the co-host.
Allie's still sleeping. We kept her up late at the hockey game last night. She's still sleeping.
That's okay. Yeah, but she's had some great picks. Did they call her the expert prognosticator though? Like when they
funny.
put her there,
people were paying her for picks at the game.
I heard that little Chris got a great round of applause. Everyone knows him now.
They said you got a great round of applause. Everyone knows you.
Yeah, for sure.
YouTube sensation.
He is a YouTube sensation. Okay.
Sponsor it. So real fast, Chris, why don't you just give us some commentary last night and starting when you saw the town crier, do you remember how you introduced yourself to him, Chris? Get close to the microphone.
Yeah, hashtag Locked On Vegas Golden Knights.
You said you were the co-host of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights?
I said hashtag Locked On Vegas.
Oh, he gave a hashtag. He knows hashtags.
He threw the hashtag.
Give me a Twitter account.
Give me a Twitter account, he says.
Yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right. He's going to hold out on this show or on your show on Saturday.
Yeah, Chris, you see?
No,
I don't have it up. I was going to post
Shut up,
his
Tony.
up there.
Oh,
No, shut up, Tony. No, shut up, Tony. Real fast, Chris, tell us about Chris, get close to the microphone, Baker. Tell us about what you got to do last night and stuff and how it made you feel.
Excited, and the ice felt different than lifetime.
The ice felt different. Was it softer? Was it good ice or bad ice?
The blue line was as big as my foot.
The blue line was as big as his foot.
It was as wide as my foot.
Yeah, as wide as his foot. It was bad ice because they lost. Bad ice.
They did lose.
Okay.
Shootout. All right, buddy. Well, while you're here, watch you bat lead off tonight. Golden Knights, Vancouver.
3-game losing streak. I think it's gonna end.
3-game losing streak. You think it's gonna end? Okay. So
So
Vegas Golden Knights are gonna win. Give me a score.
I think it's gonna take a shootout.
Okay.
He loves a shootout. This
He
guy.
does.
I think Eichel's gonna get a goal in the shootout. So I'm going Eichel.
Okay. One more player, really fast, please.
How about Barbashev?
Yeah. Okay.
How about him? How about Barbashev?
Yeah. Who?
Two factor.
What's the score, buddy? Overall?
It's gonna be a close one. I think it's gonna be high scoring 1-6-5.
That's actually a good score call. I think it's a good score call.
Thank you.
And mic drop.
All right.
If you had martingaled Ivan Barbashev from the last time he scored a goal, if you started a $2 bet and bet $2 a game, how much would your bet be up to by now?
Right.
You got 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. You're probably at a $6,000 bet right now. I'm kidding.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough. I'm kidding. In chess. Okay, my locks of the night. I'm going to go with Brett Howden and Nick Waugh.
The Howden line officially? The Howden line?
Yeah, the Howden line. Because it's going to take some of those other players, like Cassidy said, to get on the score sheet. They're going to have to score goals now. And so we saw that the other night. Bottom Sixers and Hutton with his first goal, and Keegan Colasar when he's not hitting the puck into section 219. He finally put it in net. And I'm going to go with a 4-1 Vancouver victory. I just think it's the tail end, 3 games, 4 nights. It's more to me, not physically. I just think mentally with the Golden Knights, it's starting to take a little bit of a toll on this team, I feel. And maybe this is what it will take for them to wake up, to start scoring goals again if they slide into second place. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'll be honest with you. I think it would be a good thing if they're not in first place and they're starting to get challenged again like of course, we saw in the playoffs. So that's my prediction. 4-1 Vancouver Knuckleheads, as myself and Steve Carp call them.
Carp. Can't wait to see him Saturday.
Oh, you missed our trip to Vancouver one time.
Oh, God, you guys
during
went to Vancouver?
UNLV. Oh, yeah.
And they
We went
let
to
you
go
back
see
in
a
the
Canucks
country?
game. Surprisingly, yeah. We took a road trip with some folks when we were up there in Seattle in 1989 when I was doing Rebel games in the NC2A regional up there. We had a day off. We went to Vancouver. The rest, as they say, is history. He could tell you about our group and how much fun it was. But it was
any
cool.
horse tracks up there? Where's Woodbine? Is that Toronto? I think Woodbine's.
Yeah.
I think that's suburb of Toronto.
If it's not Trotters, he's not going. And he verified the story about my dog jumping the rail in Arizona. My dog leading on the lead, jumps the rail and falls down a hole about 50 feet deep.
Oh,
and we never saw the dog again. Never saw him again.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened, unfortunately, to the dog, but that sucks.
Well, to my bet. Never mind the dog. What happened to my bet?
I thought you got the dog stuffed and you had it in your mantle or something. It's so bad. God, this is such a bad show today.
It's a bad show today.
It's a bad show. We're off today. We're
good
off.
lighting. Good lighting.
Our return for Friday show is officially questionable right now.
We're day to day. We're day to day.
We are day to day. Yeah, which means we'll see you next January, like Shea Theodore.
And thanks for all of those great comments on YouTube, fans.
Okay. Oh, that was. Look at the lighting.
That one hurt.
The fog is back, everybody. The fog is back. Yes.
Is that the
oh my God, that's awesome. I don't know why I'm like I'm way overthinking this. I got Stevenson as one of my locks. I'm trying to think of someone a little, under the radar right now. And
Amadio again? Not Amadio.
He scored. He scored.
No, he scored
someone that scored.
It's going to be Kolesar again.
Kolesar 2-game scoring streak. That'd be amazing. All right, fine. Kolesar, write it down.
All right.
Kolesar. Lock it in since we're going long on the show. 7-4 Vegas Golden Knights. Crazy. I think it's going to be a weird game. I think you're going to see both teams have multiple goal leads, come back from multiple goal deficits, last team standing type of game. I could see like a 3-3 tie in the third period and the Golden Knights just show up. It's time for the Golden Knights to remind the rest of the league who the Stanley Cup champions are, who the defending Stanley Cup champions are. Vancouver, are they pretenders? Like Kolesar said, are they pretenders? Do they want it? And I think this is a spot where the Golden Knights can maybe have we have an encore performance here. I think this is where the Golden Knights can show some dominance. That's the word I was looking for. Show some dominance over the Canucks, the Pacific, and the NHL.
There's only one way to find out.
Ooh, hey,
Friday around. Friday around. Don't forget WTF, What the Friday. That's tomorrow. And we'll have that going on. And get your comments in, please, because they're always outstanding. And then Saturday, the Chris and Chris show, which you don't want to miss on YouTube, the exclusive there, and especially our everydayers.
My wife spent time surprising me with Christmas lights. I forgot to I forgot to turn them on until right now.
All right,
Chris with the assist there.
I like that. Good job, Chris. And we appreciate everyone. For the two co-hosts of Locked On Golden Knights, Chris and Chris, I'm the other guy, Tony Cardasco. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and we'll get this whole thing fixed there.
Nah, no, we're not going to fix anything.